Hmm. Hello, John. How you doing tonight? Yeah, I'm not into that much. Well, I tell you what, this wind is blowing so bad here is wear you out. It's tough. Oh, just mean as ever. He just he's he's something else. Wired up like he's laying up on a bed asleep right now. But I guarantee you, I put him down, step outside, and he'd be running full blast. You got any dogs or cats, John? Hello, Julie. Okay. Hello, hello. How you doing, Miss Amy? What kind of pup was yours, Sean? And where you been, Judy? I haven't seen you in a few days. Well, no, Amy got two cats. Yeah, how you doing, love? No, you didn't make first tonight. John beat you out on that one. Oh, me. Did everybody have a pretty decent day? Pretty good here, except the wind's about to blow me away. That wind jumping out there, Amy? Oh, I'm a whole lot better. Every once in a while, I'll get something in my throat and go to coughing, but other than that, I feel good. You don't feel? You doing okay, love? Gasoline. What do you mean by that? No, hello, Perry does. That other live didn't stay up for about a minute. Yeah, some people don't like Monday. I would like Monday because I know I live through the week. What's the weather like at up there right now, Cat? Well, I was just playing with some settings on here. You're supposed to delete it. Or maybe y'all came on there while I was doing that. When you gals want to come up, mm-mm-mm. Boy, this is a house full of trouble. Ow. Amy, is the wind blowing out there? I guess that's a dumb question. Usually blowing in that. Hey, hello, Mr. King. Boy, they couldn't make that show nowadays. They have all kinds of levels. Appreciate it, Mr. Kenny. Ooh, that's a hell of a jump, isn't it? That's the way it's been doing down here. He's 70 in the daytime, and, 15 at night. That's not normal for down here. Amy, I delivered a trailer out there. Oh, I don't know, when I was pulling them RVs. They had a hell of a fire going out there then. They, I don't know, it burned for a couple of weeks, burned just thousands, I think like 30,000 acres, killed a bunch of cattle. So anyway, I pulled in there to drop that trailer, and they're supposed to inspect them, make sure you didn't tear anything up. I pulled in there, and that old boy said, drop that trailer and get the hell out of here. So that fire done turned and it's headed toward town. Hello, Mr. Troy. How you doing tonight? Hmm. They're talking about it's been pretty here, but they were talking a little bit about we might have some freezing rain towards the end of the week. I got to get up early in the morning. I'm sure going to be mad if these people don't have what they say they got. They called me today and told me a motorcycle was in. I don't know. I just got a funny feeling about it. I'll drive 100 miles to see anyway. Hmm. I'm starting that early. It's a good day to be on a sailboat. Kenny, you want to come up? Amy? I know I ain't going to talk to Kathleen when you come. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, imagine 17. Glad we don't get too much snow or ice down.
Howdy.
How you doing, Mr. Kenny?
Oh, doing just fine, dandy. Multitasking as usual.
You talked to Ray today?
Ray.
You know, what is it, Man Rocks or
Van Life Rock? Yeah,
yeah,
he was in Cass's Love Bar for a minute. He,
what is it?
um, I, am, he was, I was, she just ended her live, so I was over there watching her. Plus, I'm watching a crochet channel and listening to Triple C and Joe.
Well, I got to thinking about it, and I sent him a message. You know, that's what he works in a food and a bar. He was a bartender for a while.
Yeah.
I figured he might get you set up on one of them topless bars.
No.
He tell you where to go and what to do.
I've slept most of the day away anyway. I've act, I didn't go to bed till about, I guess, about 6:30, 7 o'clock my time.
Hmm. Damn, you
Yeah,
didn't wake
I,
up too long ago,
I,
did you?
I slept. I slept until about. I slept till about 2:30, 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Hmm. Well, you got a little sleep in.
Yeah, so
Fair dust. That's what I'm drinking is lemon juice and honey and water. Same. That's about the only thing that helped my cough. I got where I started liking it now. When Jim's supposed to be there to help you on the car?
he's supposed to be there. He's supposed to be here Saturday, but I hope I hope he's able to get here because I still ain't heard nothing about the truck yet. Uh, as to whether my mechanic got down the truck or not.
Yeah, it's supposed to get bad here this weekend, but it's just one day, I think. But it's supposed to be like Thursday and Friday. I need to get out there and put a set of brakes on my Harley. It's been parked up for about 6 weeks. Taking Terry down to do some brakes on
I can't. I uh, I got to call Napa tomorrow and find out about getting that Pitman arm tool to find out how much that's going to cost because I don't have that.
it. Yeah, you got to.
Because I got to take a Pitman arm. I got to take the Pitman arm off to the steering gearbox.
Yeah. I wish I was there. I've got one.
Do you have a Pitman arm
Yeah,
tool?
yeah. Bought a lot of tools when I was in business. That I need a tool for one job, I'd go buy it. If I could partially pay for it on that one job, well, I'd go buy it. I wound up with a lot of tools.
Yeah, I got the jack and I got sockets. I got wrenches. I got screwdrivers.
I got to get something, Kenny. I'll be right back.
uh, but hopefully, hopefully weather will hold off Saturday. He asked me what time I wanted to get started on that thing. I said I'd like to get started on it about as early as I could before it gets dark. They asked
Yeah,
me. They asked me if we could meet somewhere else,
well,
and
you
I
gotta be.
said they asked me if we could meet them like on the border or something, and I said I'd rather not take a chance on going too far with it until I get that thing fixed.
Yeah, and everything being cool is that makes a lot of difference. If you just get through driving and want to go to work and on it, you continually burning yourself.
You been wanting the Ford Transit van?
Well, why can't you get it, Fair Duck?
I think about all vehicles has got their pros and cons, especially these new ones.
No, you're not married, are you, Fair Duck? Your husband's not telling you can't buy it. I'm gonna get in trouble here in a minute.
I like I've said many times, I'd much rather have this older stuff better than I would this newer. Anyway, any day.
Well, Cat, that's your consideration, but it depends on how you travel too. You make them flying trips like I used to do. That gas makes a lot of difference. No, I think them little transit vans get on up around 20, don't they? 20
I
or
don't
20.
know. I don't know. To be honest, I think that one channel I follow called Mike and Heather, they got one. Um, they they I think they said they got about 15 to 20 miles, 15 to 20 miles to a gallon on theirs. I think maybe, um, but
Yeah, crazy, isn't it? Hey, well, I tell you what, Fair Duck, you may be smart holding off a little bit. I've got some friends of mine that got a Chevrolet dealership, and one of them been trying to sell me a new truck. He told me the other day, he said, you just need to sit on your hands for another month or two. So these vehicles are fixing to shake up pretty good.
hey, James, I definitely wouldn't want no diesel because most people I've talked to, diesel parts is a lot higher than gasoline parts.
I drove diesels when I was pulling trailers, and I loved them for that. But just as a personal vehicle, like in that van or something, I wouldn't have one of those. My buddy, the guy that I fish with, has got a 3/4 ton Dodge that the
Yeah,
motor went to acting up in,
yeah.
and turbo might be fixed to go out. Well, if he has to replace that motor's $12,000.
I hate that. I,
I think you're gonna see things change a little bit pretty quick on these cars. People just not buying them. They jumped them up too high, and I think they're sitting on them now.
Yeah, and I hate I hate to hear that about Van Vita's ambulance.
Yeah.
She's going to have to buy a whole new transmission.
Well, that's cheaper than a motor.
Is it really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, motor for that thing. She got that 6.0 diesel. I imagine it cost ooh 8,000-9,000, probably twice as much that transmission.
Well, I went. Uh, I I would think the transmission itself would be about that much because I know I called one time and just for a rebuilt one, just for a rebuilt transmission, you're not gonna find anything less than $1,500.
Well, I think did I read somewhere there was going to be like 4,000 for that transmission?
Well,
That some-
somebody made a comment on her community tab post, and she kind of like said she wished it was 4K, but it must be a lot more than that.
Hell, it shouldn't be too much on that. Of course, you get caught out on the road, you're sort of at people's mercy. If you're around where you live, you can sort of pick and choose, but when you're strung out on the road, you got to take what you got to take. I mean, you can't. Uh, if you bulletproof that six that 6.0 motor, if you go in and spend about $3,000 or $4,000 on them, they're a hell of a good motor then.
Yeah, and those are made out of that's cast iron there. What Troy's talking about there?
Uh,
Huh?
yeah, that's the motor. The 6.0s, the later generations are better. But personally, when I was running diesels, I had a 6.0 and a 450 Ford, and then I had a Duramax and that Chevrolet, and then I took and turned around and bought that Dodge, and it had the Cummins in it. I like the Cummins better than any of those. But that trouble that Paula was having, that's just part of being on the road.
Yeah, I mean, any of them break down. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter whether it's old, new, or in between. Any of them break down.
that's right. But Lord, you figure that ambulance looks like it's got a lot of room in it, and she got it all rigged out. They if she took and bought something like that already made, hell, it cost $150,000. I tell you what, I know everything got automatic in it now, but I sure like a damn standard transmission a whole lot better than I do automatic. No comment. But I do know that every time I took that diesel of mine and I had anything done to it, it was $1,000 bill at least. That's about as cheap as I could get out of a shop. Well, I'm sorry, William. You get up in the morning and you're on the top side of that grass instead of the bottom side, it's a good day. What has your van got in it? Has it got a V8 in it or a six?
Yeah, it's a 302, 302 small block V8. That's
That
good
motor's
motor.
been, that
That's a
motor's
five.
been around.
That's 5.0 liter.
Yeah, that motor's been around forever. Ever. When it first come out, the first year it came out, it wasn't too good. Boy, they got to working on it, and then that's one of the best motors Ford makes now.
And I've had the 351 Windsor too.
Yeah, that's a good motor. That's a hot motor.
Um,
Woo! I hit that lemon juice in.
and then on that 76 GMC pickup truck, it's got the 350. It's got the 350 5.7 liter in it.
I got a 5.7 in my pickup. That's a tough motor. They're getting nearly everybody's getting 250, 300,000 out of that motor.
Well, that thing's only got like 50 died 60,000 miles on it right now.
I know an old boy here
It
that's
ain't
got
even.
one of those in a Chevrolet,
Yeah.
and he's got a 500,000 miles on that damn truck. Finally just quit driving it. He didn't blow it up, but he just wore everything on the truck out. You know, the body was wore out. But had a 500,000 miles on it. Yeah. I wonder what I know they're selling them things off surplus now. I wonder what they're getting on them. You got any idea, Troy? Fairy Dust, are you going to try to build your van out yourself, or are you going to try to get somebody else to do it?
I'm gonna try to get somebody else to help build mine out because they got more experience in what I need and the materials and stuff. Because I wouldn't know where to uh what to buy. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what, there's been some walkthroughs on Johnny's van. She does a pretty good job.
Yeah.
I don't know what she did for that, but you might have some fun building it out. Well,
Hey, Amy.
Hello, how are you guys?
Oh, done just fine and dandy.
Tell
Good.
you what, Pamela got better looking when she came up here than me and you, Kenny.
I don't know about that.
There's not much competition, Amy. Now, I don't think me or Kenny either one would win a beauty contest.
Oh
Oh, I
Lord,
wouldn't
no.
either.
Oh God, no.
I would not. No.
Oh, Lord. Well, how'd your day go? Get all
Um,
your inventory done and all that business
yeah,
done?
got up there, counted. Had to count the walk-in, and it's so cold in there. I had like my winter coat, and it was still too cold. And then I came home, took a nap, um, and went to work, and we were busy until like 7:30 because it's a Monday holiday. So Monday holidays are always busy until about 7:30, and then nothing. So,
Yeah. I used to always hate him.
yep. How have you guys been?
I'm doing pretty good. About to blow away. Damn
Right?
wind. I said, I'm about to blow away. This wind is howling down.
Yeah. It's so bad. Like I'm pretty sure I got dust in my eye just walking to my car from the building to my car, and I park right next to the door I come out of.
I tell you what, Texas has got some wind. Man, you right in the middle of it out there.
Yep.
There ain't nothing.
We so Cadillac Ranch is pretty close to where I'm at. Um and we've been under a fire advisory all day, and there ended up being a fire out by there that was over 100 acres. Last I looked, it was about 60% contained, but it was about 5 miles down the road where the fire was from my work.
And this kind of wind, that makes it tough. Boy,
Yep.
fire can run quick. I tell you what, like I said more ago, I was out there that time. They had that big fire. I don't know how many cattle it killed. It burned the hooves off them cows. The fire was running so fast they couldn't get away from it. They was piling up against the
Jeez.
fences. They had to go in there and kill. I don't know how many thousand head they had to kill.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that is. That's a bad deal.
Yeah, and one of my
But
employees lived in the neighborhood that was evacuated, and so he couldn't come into work because he had to stay with the animals. He was the only one home.
they, I got to reading. I get off into all the stuff, 1800s earlier. And I was reading about a forest fire they had that started at the Mississippi River and burned all the way to the Pacific Ocean. Burned for 3 years. And they said at one time it was 50 miles deep and 200 miles wide. Imagine that. Of course, there wasn't no way to put a fire out back in them days. You just had to burn out. I can't imagine that. How far is it to Abilene from where you are now? A couple 100 miles.
Mm, let me look. So to the outback there, it's about 4 hours.
That'd be about 200 miles. They would you
Yeah,
imagine
it
a fire.
says,
You imagine a fire from where you're at to Abilene wide.
geez, that would be insane.
Yeah. I was wanting to come up to Abilene. I wanted to go out where Aaron was working, but I don't know if he's still up there or not.
He might. I know he told me earlier that he was flying into DFW tomorrow.
Hmm. He may have
Uh,
been out.
281 miles. Mm.
That's
And
a
it's going,
boring drive, isn't it?
yep,
To
and it's
Lubbock.
going to Lubbock,
Yeah. Ugh.
which I
Bet
may
that
be
you,
going to Lubbock in a couple weeks to help with an event. I have to talk to my boss. But the Outback down there is doing some big fundraising for like autism or something, and Patrick Mahomes is supposed to be there. And so I told that managing partner that because he was asking for volunteers, and I was like, I will go. And Lubbock's only like 2 hours away, so
things perked up, huh?
and he wants all the volunteers he can get. So I was like, I'll go.
You might as well have a good time.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I've been in a lot of weird places I didn't think I was going to get up the next. There's usually something funny comes out of it. Over with. Get where you laugh about it.
Kat says, Patrick, sign me up. Yeah, so that's it. So he posts something and he's like, yeah, he's like, Mahomes and his fiance have asked us about helping at the next big event. And then he posted the event that he did that morning, that the store had done that morning. And I was like, I'm in. And then he sent us a thing later in the night and he's like, this is the event and when it is. And I'm like, I'll be there. So, but he went to school at Tech, which is in Lubbock. So
Well,
see.
Lubbock's not all that far from you.
Mm-mm. Let's see. We'll just Google Maps that one too.
Yeah, you get bad in Lance. You ask Lance anything and he Google it.
An hour and 45 minutes.
100 miles. Just a little.
Well, and that's to the Outback. Let me figure out where the event is.
Fair does. The only thing I wouldn't do is don't get one of them sprinters that's got that Mercedes motor in it. Everybody I'll talk to on that thing, they love the way they drive and the way they run, but well, when you have trouble, you got trouble.
An hour and 38 minutes.
Yeah, you have a good time at that.
So I would definitely do it.
Yeah. I Fair does. I bought several RVs, travel trailers, and motorhomes and stuff down through the years, and I guarantee you, building one out yourself is the way to do it. Just don't even get in a hurry on it. Just throw you a cot, a sleeping bag, and that kind of stuff in it to start with. Put a camp stove, and then build it out. While you're laying up in that thing trying to sleep, well, like you'll sit there and finish figuring out what you want on it. Kathleen, that Mobank don't never slow down, does it? Crack me up. So I was really looking forward to meeting him because when I was in Vietnam, I was in some of the same places he was, and we had a lot to sort of kick back and forth. He's a cool guy.
I know he makes some good egg rolls for sure.
Yeah.
I heard.
Yeah, that's some good eating.
Everybody seems to like him.
And they actually make he makes it better than the Chinese restaurants, believe it or not. I guarantee you get one of his. You ain't gonna want one from a Chinese restaurant. I don't think.
I'm not into Oriental food. You're not gonna catch me in a Chinese restaurant.
Nope. And the only thing I'll eat from a Chinese restaurant is sesame chicken. The only thing I will eat.
Waco's got a bunch of them. Used to have, and the I think there were like 40 something of them in this area. And the health department came in here and did their inspections on it. 2 of them passed. Got a 40. And I used to do some work on the stainless steel stuff they got in the kitchen, the sinks and stuff. You had to weld them and cut them down. And but I was never impressed when I was in one of them kitchens.
But speaking of health inspections, we had our city health inspection today, and we got a 95.
Can't complain about that, can you?
Nope. It was like dirty knives. And somebody had gotten flour and they left the scoop in the flour. So two stupid, silly mistakes.
How often they inspect you?
I don't know how often Amarillo does. So
they didn't never let anybody know they were coming down here for a long time, and then they got to letting them know they were coming. They would tell them about 2 or 3 days ahead of time that they were going to come in here. They may have stopped that again.
yep, they don't tell us. I guess the other manager was leaving, and as he was from inventory, and he was walking out, and he saw the guy, and he turned around and he came back. So
that wouldn't be good.
No.
I used to have food with inspectors of different kinds. Y'all had food, and I got where I hated it. But if there's something major, well, man, yeah, let's get it straight. And I ran a business for years and years. I'm talking about nearly 40-something years. And I never had a workers' comp claim or anybody get hurt. And that's saying something in the construction business. And
I've had, in my 8 years, I've had one legit one. And it was, because sometimes it's like, okay, they're fooling around or whatever. But this girl, she was opening, and we had quesadilla griddles, like little griddles, and she went to plug it in, and there was like an exposed wire, and she was electrocuted. And then I've had people like cut themselves or like slip and fall and hurt themselves, and I've called it in, but I think only one person used it to go get her. She fell and hurt her knee, and she went to get her knee checked out, and it ended up being fine. But it was at that point, like, I'll call it in just to make sure, like, because it's easier to call it in when it happens than they need to go get checked out 2 days later and you never called it in, and then it's a pain. So just call it in, talk to the nurse, and then they can deal with it. But most of them that I've called in have gone unfounded. But I like to tell them when they're like, something's on the ground or something, I'm like, sweep up. I go, I'm too busy to talk to somebody on the phone for 2 hours about a claim. I'm too busy to fill out paperwork is what I tell them.
Hello, Travel Adventures.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Travel Adventures. With Eric B.
Brad does says we covered food now. We're gonna need to move on to something else.
Yeah, I'll eat Chinese. I'll eat Japanese food. I'll eat Italian food.
Italian's good.
And I'll eat just about anything that won't bite me first.
Yeah. I'm not particular on my own. Korean food's about the only kind of food I'm not crazy about. And I don't think you can beat a good steak with a good pork chop, mashed potatoes, and cream gravy. It's hard.
No, I won't eat. I won't eat avocados. Not by themselves. I won't. And I won't eat grapefruit. I won't eat sour cream.
Why won't you eat grapefruit?
I just don't like a bitter taste of it. Tried it. Don't like the taste. Bitter. Too bitter.
They, if you get, they've got a grapefruit here in Texas. They call it Ruby Red, and it's grown down in the valley, down in the lower part of Texas. Now they're not bitter; they're sweet.
I like Ruby Red grapefruit.
They're good.
Most grapefruits I've had, every one of them I've had has been bitter.
But, damn, here we're gonna start talking about grapefruit.
Food.
I'll be wanting a salty dog again.
I need to try one of those because that's just vodka and grapefruit, right?
Well, I put dry gin in it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't taste the alcohol. Put a salt rim on it.
Yeah, of course. I might have to try one. Do vodka grapefruit with the salted rim.
I'm just not too crazy about vodka, and I make mine with slow gin. You can't taste it. You can't taste the alcohol at all.
I don't even know if I have any plain vodka. I can't see my top of my refrigerator very well from here. I think I only have vodka.
Keep saying she's got tequila now, but she don't ever break it out.
I got tequila up there. I have Salsa Silver.
I haven't drank any tequila in a long time.
The cruise when I had margaritas. But I think I only had a couple because then I switched to frozen lemonades. And it was vodka.
Margaritas, you can get good ones and you can get bad ones. I don't like a sweet drink with alcohol. And a lot of these damn margaritas are just, can't understand it. Oh, Roy and Becky.
Hey, Roy. Hey, Becky.
Hey, Roy.
Uh-oh, you finally made it to Quartzsite.
That's exciting.
Oh, I love sushi. You give me sushi, I'll eat it.
Nope.
I'm with you, man. In fact, I don't like grilled fish at all. But let it roll.
You don't like grilled fish at all?
The only way I'll eat fish is it's got a crunch when I eat it. It's gonna be fried. Even blackened blackened fish or something like that. I don't like.
You wasted some good food there. I'll eat it. I'll eat your share.
And I tell you what, I'll take the avocados and the fried fish, and you can have that other.
I'll eat fried fish. I'll eat meat. I'll eat mackerel and salmon and tuna fish and last night for dinner. Dad cooked some. He mixed some green. He put green beans, corn, and tuna, mixed it all in a pot. Cooked it together, and it was good.
Tell you,
Kat mentioned teriyaki. I love teriyaki chicken. I love a good teriyaki sauce with like steak or chicken and fries. Dip it in fries. Oh, so good. I love teriyaki sauce. But I do not like the teriyaki at Buffalo Wild Wings.
I'll eat meat sardines.
Ew, gross. You will eat ranch, but you'll eat sardines? What's wrong with you?
I don't like the smell of ranch or the taste of ranch. I don't even like buttermilk, so that's out. I want to eat cottage cheese.
Well, cottage cheese is gross, so.
My dad's a big fan of it. He'll eat it. And my dad's a big fan of buttermilk. He'll drink a gallon of buttermilk within a day or two. Buying it from the store, he'll drink it straight from the gallon.
Yep. Buttermilk's only good if you cover it, like put it in. Well, you use it to make ranch, and then like doing it as a breading, like with chicken, and then obviously frying the chicken, but as like a batter.
Buttermilk don't last no time here. If it's here at the house, it don't last no time. And he's the only one that'll drink it.
boy, you're talking about two of the best tasting fish there are. I don't think there's a fish made that tastes any better than a perch about as big as your hand. And they're a lot of trouble to fix, but damn, they're good. And crappie are good. There you go, Cat.
Janice, I probably would like a honey, soy, and garlic sauce. Probably.
I think Janice is an expert on the stir fry. Pretty good recipe and all that. I'll eat stir fry with just regular old hot sauce. Got the little bitty green peppers in it. You know what I'm talking about?
You talking about jalapeno hot sauce?
Well, no, it's not jalapeno. It's just got some little like chili peppers or something in there. Little green peppers.
Red hot.
Yeah, they're hot.
Red hot chili peppers in.
Yeah, and you put one of them peppers out and it'll light you up. But I like that on steamed vegetables, stuff like that. We just, I like a vinegary taste on a lot of it.
People ask Mrs. Elsie how you stand to eat the hot sauce.
I'll eat the hot sauce too.
I'll do okay. Buffalo sauce, but a little bit goes a long way for me.
Hey, Billy, truth be told.
Hey, Bill.
What?
And it's funny how different people like different things. And I think a lot of it's how you were raised up, what you raised up in.
I'm very picky, and I've been picky since I was a baby. My mom said that I refused to eat the jar baby food.
There you go, Troy. That's some good old country eating right there, Troy. Cornbread and beans. Yeah.
I love cornbread. as long as it's not sweet. I don't like sweet cornbread. I make a deal of cornbread, and I don't walk off and leave it alone. I'll cut a piece off, put butter on it, and eat it. First thing you know, I done ate half that cornbread up. Haven't
Yeah.
even got it on the table yet.
Hey, yeah, either ham hock or fatback. I can actually, believe it or not, I've actually eaten a fatback by itself. I can actually cook up fatback and eat it by itself.
Well, I would have never thought of that combination, Shannon.
I'll eat your share of sushi, cat.
I like bread corn. Boy, when it's hot, a little bit of butter on it. Ooh, hard to beat. And then I'm bad about after it gets cold, is getting a glass of milk, crumbling it up, and put it in milk. Eat it.
Like my dad was said the other day, I'd never heard of this before until he told me, but he likes corn. He's actually had cornbread and orange juice together.
Orange juice? Ooh, that don't sound good.
I like orange juice, but I can't have it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's crumbled up cornbread and orange juice together. I'm like, each his own.
Yeah, that was the way I was raised. Cleaned your plate.
We were, yes and no, we were too, but most of the time I did like what my family cooked. There was only a few times that they made me, and I just sat there. I refused because I didn't like it. I'm like, I'm not gonna eat it. I know there was one incident where they made me eat peas, and after that happened, after I refused and they made me, they didn't really force me to eat anything after that. After they had to clean up a mess. Let's just say. Like,
My mom was hell on you had to eat breakfast. And I still don't like to get up and eat as soon as I get up.
no.
My sister hated breakfast, and it'd make her sick. First got up. Her and Mama would have hell every morning arguing about my sister eating, and then my sister got work. She'd be sneaking that food to me under the table, stay out of trouble.
But and on that, like even when I worked with kids, like when I did the preschool and we fed them lunch, because I hate being picky. I hate that there are so many foods that I do not like. Because I wish I could enjoy more foods. I can't. Like my taste buds are like, no, like can't do it. And there will be foods that I'm super excited to try and I'll try it and I'm so disappointed that I don't like it. And but I made them try everything on their plate because I was like, I don't want them to be like me. But I was like, nope, you have to try at least one bite of everything before you can say that you're done. I mean, they were 4 and 5-year-olds, so they don't eat a whole lot anyways. But I was like, you need to try at least one bite of everything that's on your plate before you say you're done with lunch. So
That was something else. They talking about if you had a dog under the table. Dogs weren't allowed in the house when you were eating,
yeah, our dog wasn't allowed in the house.
and you better damn well have a shirt on when you come up to the table. I've got sent to my room. I don't know how many times when I was a kid for not having a shirt on. Funny the way that some of that stuff works. And I still know some old German families down here that the men go in and eat. When they get through eating, then the women and the kids go in and eat.
Oh wow.
It's still like the old Germany. just the way they were raised. I guess that's the way they're raising the kid.
Interesting.
I know when my dad was growing up, it was it when my dad was growing up, he told me, he said that uh, he had to eat everything on his plate growing up, or he went to bed hungry. Well, one time he got too much. Um, One time he got too much spinach on his plate, and he, and he was still forced to eat it, and he cried, and he laid into him. His daddy, his daddy laid into him because and but that was one thing he couldn't stand was spinach, and then as he got older, he got to where he liked it. I mean,
I read what Janice put down here. When I got to pulling those trailers on the road, me and Sonny, my wife, we had a lot of fun. We did a lot of cutting up, and I'd always open the door for her. We'd go in someplace, but on the road, I told her, I said, I'm gonna quit doing that because you don't. I don't know what we're walking into. We're walking in restaurants and stuff we don't know nothing about. I'm gonna start walking in first. That way, you're not in my way if I have to take care of something. Well, we did that for a while. Well, then it got to be a joke. We'd walk in the door, and I just snap my fingers and point behind me, and of course she'd go laughing. But God Almighty, some of them women, it would make them so damn mad. The hair stand up on the back of their neck. And I walked in a truck stop in Cheyenne, Wyoming. It just opened, and there wasn't but one other person in there. And I snapped my fingers and did that. We walked on in there and sat down, and there were 3 or 4 waitresses and didn't have nothing to do. They jumped right in the middle of me, just getting on my case. I turned around and looked at the other guy that was in there, and I said, these women think they good as us ever since we give them the right to vote. God Almighty, I had to leave, and they knew I was teasing. It still stirred them up. That other guy told me, just dropped his head and said, "Boy, you got a death wish." Uh,
my dad tell me in certain countries, if you don't after you get through eating, if you don't like burp after every meal, it offends them because it makes them think that the food wasn't good.
Interesting.
Huh.
Roy said he was raised that way too, about
Uh,
not eating with the grown ups.
I think they told me it was in Japan or something like that. If you don't burp after every meal or whatever, then it offends them because they it makes them think that the food wasn't good.
Huh. I know different countries damn sure got different ways of looking at things. Yeah, it's supposed to drop down here too, Fairy does.
Yep. Wednesday is a high of 28 here.
I think we're going to be a low of 28 and a high of 32 or something like that. It's just going to last one day before another. Yeah, Janice, that might be right. Hello, Meg.
Hey, Meg.
Hey, Meg. How are you today? Yeah, Roy and Becky, it's really windy here too. Let's see what it says. 20 miles per hour right now.
Yeah, it's looking like Saturday's gonna be my only pretty day this week.
Well, that's when Jim's supposed to be there, isn't it?
Supposed to be. I'm hoping he's able to. Like I said, I tried to explain to him how to get here, but he said for some reason, Ashley said for some reason, when they put my address in Google Maps, it doesn't come up for some reason.
Huh. Yeah. Most of the time, them phones are pretty close. In fact, I've got a what the hell they call them, GPS, and that my telephone's more accurate than it is. The GPS will put you into places you don't want to be. Especially if you're pulling a trailer or something.
He's coming from Kentucky, and he said that he could get here in about an hour, and I'm thinking you must be putting it to the floor because they're coming from Pikeville, and it's a lot longer than an hour long from here to from here to Pikeville to here.
That's right, Janice. I started getting tickled at people. If you're pulling a trailer, you're hooked up to it. You point that thing in the wind, and it's really got to be something before you have any trouble. You think about it, you're running 70 miles an hour down the highway. That trailer built to do that all day long. You hit it in the wind, it's the same difference. I rode some hellacious storms out where I could put that nose in the wind. I'm sure getting itchy feet. I'm gonna have to take off and like make a month or two run. Weather gonna get right again. You like to camp, Amy?
Like to camp? Yeah. I've always enjoyed it.
You always what?
I've always enjoyed it. I remember growing up and we'd go camping and it was just tent camping, like no electricity, nothing. Like my dad had like the propane grill and all that kind of stuff. We'd camp out at the lake and then go on the boat and everything. It was so much fun.
I still like to tent camp every once in a while. I get off into building these wood kayaks. We've got the Bradleys here. We got a lot of water that no people on. And we'll go out there and spend 3 or 4 days camped out on one of them sandbars. That's pretty hard to do. And you can be comfortable in a tent if you'll do it right.
Mhm.
I get real tickled at some of these people on here. Is not in this room particularly, but in some of these rooms, they think you got to spend, $75,000 to be able to get on the road and travel. Well, you don't have to do that. I believe you could take $300 if you watch what you're buying and have a nice tent and cot and stove and have everything you need.
Yep.
You wouldn't spend that big money. It's nice. Roy, did you have any trouble with that, buddy? I put one of them hoses on mine and hooked it up to a 5-gallon bottle. I never have been able to make that thing work after that. And I had a filter on it and everything. Now, some of them are glorified big time. I walked in one up there in Elkhart. It was $3.5 million for that motorhome. But it belonged to, Charlie Chan, the actor. It belonged to him. They took that thing, put it on a ship, and shipped it. And $3.5 million. Yeah, I can do that too, Troy. But you're not gonna. I hate hammering, and I can do it. I just don't like it. It's funny how food tastes so good when you're out there, got a campfire going, and you cook that food over that campfire. It tastes twice as good as anywhere else.
Yep.
Hmm. I have to try that. I got so damn aggravated about it. I went back to one of them other kind. That's something about the tent camping, Amy. On these new tents, they've got a hatch on that thing where you can put an air conditioner in it.
What?
Yeah, air conditioning, and most of these tent sites now come with electricity if you're camped in a campground.
Yeah.
So, they put electric heaters in them things, air conditioners in them. It cracked me up first time I saw air conditioners sticking out of a tent.
Yeah, I know when we were at the place in Minnesota, the campsite next to us, they just had tent camping, and so they had the electric and they had stuff hooked up to the electricity, and they just had a tent out there.
Yeah, I know some people that got in financial trouble, had 3 or 4 kids, and they just couldn't make it. And they finally bought a big tent and just moved into a campground. And you go in that tent was like a 12 by 20. And it had an ice box, a regular stove in it. It
Oh
was
wow.
rigged up just like a house on the inside. And they lived there for like 2.5, 3 years, I think.
Oh wow.
And it while they put some money together to get back on their feet. One I've always wanted to do, and I never have done it. I'm gonna go do it this summer. Is I've always wanted to spend a night in a damn teepee. I think them are the neatest things the way they're built.
Oh, that would be
But
fun.
have you stayed in one before?
No, but I did went to Girl Scout camp a couple years. And one of the years I did I don't remember what it was called, but instead of staying in like the little cabin and not really a camp cabin, it was like 4 beds, like 4 cots in like the little building, with like no real walls. Like it was like tarps on the walls, like they came up and down. We did tent camping, but it was like almost kind of like a teepee, but it had like the two, and it was just that we packed it in our little bag, and it was a really bad experience because it rained like every day. We all got like poison oak. Like it was terrible. It was awful. Just because it just rained and we didn't have any like real shelter because we had these little tents that were kind of like a teepee, but instead of like the one stick, there were two.
I've never seen one of them kerosene fridges, Jan. I've heard of them, I've never seen one. Yeah, you have. Well, I guess you have up there. They, yeah, I had a friend of mine that was in this black powder stuff real heavy, and he had a big, pretty good sized TV. And I've never spent the night in it, but we go in there, light a fire in the middle and cook and everything else right there inside that tent.
That would be cool.
I don't know. Yeah, it is. It's cool. Then I know another old boy that he actually lives in a teepee, or he did for a couple of years, and it had rugs on the floor, and he had built a deck, and he put that teepee on that deck where he had a wood floor in it.
Oh,
He had
cool.
everything in that thing that a house had. I mean, his ice box, stove, TV, the whole 9 yards.
A TV and a teepee? That just
Yeah,
doesn't sound right.
I know it, but it was just a house to him. You look up and be a computer sitting on a desk, inside a teepee. That does look a little funny.
Hey, Michael Ann, how are you?
Hey, Michael Ann.
Michael Lynn, Trouble. That ought to be
She's
her middle name.
Trouble.
But I
Because
do get
he's going to be my roommate on the cruise, and I wouldn't have anybody that was Trouble be my roommate on the cruise.
well, you're not Lily White either, girl.
Oh yeah, Amy. That you
Yes.
know that
I got you one time anyway, Ed.
you know that video you did on the monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say that was in Amber Cove?
Yes.
Okay, because that's what I thought. Because Lorraine, traveling with special abilities, was talking to me yesterday about the excursions that I might want to do
Mm-hmm.
while on the cruise, and I thought I would make going to see those monkeys one of my things I might want to do.
Okay. We'll have to look into
That
it and see. Because I know it was paired with the Puerto Plata City Tour, which I've done that. It's with a waterfall, and then I think of Flavors of Dominican. So,
okay, because I um I thought that looked pretty cool by the way when you did that video.
the monkeys were amazing. So much fun.
Michael Ann, we can think you a middle name up right quick. We come up with a doozy. I would like to be a little mouse on them in that room, listen to some of those conversations between you and Michael Ann. Lord.
Well, and the funny thing is, Call Me V is like across the hall and like 3 rooms down from where we're going to be.
Oh, wow. I just love B to death. You just cracked me.
Was you in the? You should have been in Angie Hay Family Adventures.
I know. I was at work. Angie told me that I should have seen it. So I'm going to have to go watch it tomorrow.
You should have been right there in her life because she cracked up at the at the littlest at the littlest things. I mean,
She told me she was laughing like you.
and she cracked up.
I was in there for a while, but I must have left before B got there.
Was you in Angie Hay Family Adventures live stream yesterday? From yesterday?
No, the I was in one today.
Well,
But
yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Okay.
yeah, I was in there for a while, and I had some stuff I had to do.
Yeah, I was at work and I turned it on just as she was ending it.
Yeah, that may be that hall between them two rooms might not be safe.
We'll see. But and it'll be interesting to see if anybody else is in that general area.
How
We're
many
on.
cruises you been on, Amy?
I've been on 8.
8. Wow.
So is this
And
going to be your 9th one then?
as long as I don't go on another one in between. But yeah, it will be number 9. And I started cruising in September of 2018 was my first cruise. So I went September 2008. I went January of 2019, July 2019, September 2019, January of 2020. And then, of course, there was no cruising. So then I went September of 2021, October of 2021, and January 2022. So,
They have a set of sea legs on you by now.
yup. And there was 2 cruises that I was actually booked on and had paid onto that were canceled October of 2021 and no, October of 2020 and January of 2021. So
I got a cousin that him and his wife both really enjoy the cruises, and they're fixing to go on a world cruise. And I asked him what that deal was on that. He said they just stop at different places, and you'll spend a day or 2 days there, and then they'll run, stop someplace else.
yeah.
They're going to go down to Australia and around that way.
Dewey from Dewey Destinations, Dewey Ski, he's got the world cruise booked at the end of 2023, 2020, 2024. That's like 270 some days. So that will be fun to watch that. It goes to all 7 continents. It's got so many I don't know how many stops that they're making, but he gets to go to all 7 continents on this world cruise.
You'd have to retire to do that, wouldn't you?
He's retired.
I
We
just
joke with him now that he lives on the cruise ship and his house in Florida is just his vacation home.
well, what you ought to do is go to work on one of them things.
I've thought about it, but I wouldn't want to work in food because you think you'd have to start and do a server and all that, and I wouldn't want to do that. Like I would want to manage, but I think I'd want to work with the kids.
Yeah, they I know a couple of people that did that. Used to, there were a lot of cruise ships went out of Galveston. I don't even know if they go out of there anymore.
Yeah, they go. They still go they still go out of Galveston. Speaking of who we were just talking about, hey Angie, we were just talking about your live.
It was hilarious, Angie. I was there the whole time. I was multi-streaming as usual. I had you going, I had Donovan going, and I had somebody else going at the same time as well.
Janice, you're a trip.
Angie,
Yeah.
you need to give them one. They're fun. You're in Florida. You can find a good deal right now. They're pretty cheap.
You should go on that one in October. That'd be one good way I could meet you in person. There's still more room.
How many people's on one of them ships?
On the ship that we're going on, probably a little more than 3,000. Here, I'll look it up and see what
You gonna Google it?
put a cruise mapper.
Well, I can believe that.
It is 2:04 a.m., Dad. I'm up on a live stream. just go back to sleep. Enjoy your sleep, Dad.
Okay, so the Carnival Horizon can hold 3,000. It says 3,960 to 4,716.
Ooh, going 5,000 people.
Yep.
Janice, I know good and damn well you were right in the middle of it.
Angie, that's really weird that she didn't get back to you. She's very good at respond. She's generally very good at responding.
Who is
She
that?
told me I could respond to Cindy anytime. I could respond to her anytime I wanted. I could respond to her now if I wanted to. Yeah, I mean, not that I want to, but I because
You're gonna keep on, Amy, and you're gonna wind up having your own cruise line. You'll be booking the cruises.
Well, I do have. I signed up with the travel agency, and I just need to do my Carnival training, and then I can start booking Carnival cruises, and then I'll do the other cruise lines as well. And then I think I'm going to do Disney.
Hey, Lillian.
Hello, Lily.
Hey, Lillian.
One of the motorcycle channels I follow, they got a cruise going this and he works with a lot of vets, and they're sort of doing like the thing y'all did for everybody that gets on the ship. They'll put $100 in the pot for taking a vet.
Oh, awesome!
So they're doing a lot of vets. I forget how many. I think you got 105 vets or something. They're going to be able to go on it without it costing them anything. That guy does a lot for the vet.
All right. Good night, Meg. If you need anything, I'm here.
Good.
Yeah, good night,
Good night,
Meg.
Meg.
How's Diane doing? She hasn't been in here tonight.
I haven't really heard from her today, so I don't know.
Damn. That's pretty good surgery she had on her shoulder.
Yeah. I know it's been sore, but it was doing better. So
She had to have. If I remember, she had to have a whole new shoulder replacement, didn't she?
I don't
I
know
don't
if
know
it
what
was.
they did.
I think it was a replacement.
It was she was in and out. Like she wasn't there. She didn't stay overnight in the hospital. So it was something that they did, that she went in and had surgery in the morning and went home that afternoon.
I tell you what, they getting where they do that pretty heavy. I got a buddy of mine that had a knee transplant here about 2 months ago, and he was in there 45 minutes. They had him walking around that afternoon, and he went on.
Hmm.
And,
I
and
know when I
complete.
had my appendix out, I had surgery at like 8 o'clock that morning, and by 8 o'clock that night, I was at home.
If you want to get sick, a hospital is the best place to get sick. You don't get something. Yeah.
And I know they do gallbladder surgery. You're in and out in no time when they
Oh,
do
yeah.
gallbladder,
Yeah.
unless it winds up being a lot worse than what they thought when they go in there. Of course, I still got my gallbladder and I still got my appendix, so I'm good.
I've got my gallbladder, but
Appendix, no.
nope. I had that taken out December 26, 2011.
I
Could they
I
do a band-aid on it?
No, I have 3 teeny tiny incisions, one in my belly button, one off to the side, and one lower below my belly button. Teeny tiny, like the scar is smaller than what my fingernail is across my pinky, like really thin. Like you can't, and they glued them shut. They
Yeah.
glued them shut.
Super glue.
And that was 11 years ago, 10 years ago. So yeah, and you can hardly tell that the scars are there. Like you can barely see them.
My mom had gallbladder surgery, and they had to cut her open, can to cane, and it took her a year to get over it.
Oh, geez.
A month later, my aunt went in and had gallbladder surgery, like you're talking about. In 2 weeks, she was up running around. And
So Christmas was that Saturday. So I went in Christmas night to the ER, had the surgery on Sunday, and I was at work on Wednesday rolling silverware. Because that's all I could do. I couldn't work. And I wasn't supposed to go back, but I was going stir crazy in my house, and I was like, I need to do something, and I needed money. So I just went and rolled silverware all night long, that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, till I was cleared to go back to work, and did the paperwork part at the end of the night. So
well, you know, if you're busy, it seems like it helps.
yeah. So
That buddy of mine that's having that surgery.
well, speaking of Diane, there she is. Hello, hello.
Hey, hello, Diane.
What is this? You mentioned names and they just pop into chat. It worked for Angie. It worked for Diane.
Got a magnet going here. I got tickled. I went back and looked at that chat last night, and we had 22 in here last night for a while.
Nice. That's awesome. That's amazing.
So it surprised me. Oh, we're talking about that knee replacement. That buddy of mine, a doctor never touched him. It was all robot.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's why they're doing. My great grandma had had lung operation done because she had cancer of the lung. Uh, she had done it was a cyber knife thing, and she had it done by a robot.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Something else. Diane, how you feeling tonight? We're just wondering how you were doing.
Yep, we were talking about your shoulder. What exactly did you have done to your shoulder?
I just absolutely love your laugh, Angie. I mean, hey, I just absolutely that was hilarious.
Yes, Diane, it was good things. We were talking about your shoulder. I'm wondering how it was.
Beaver.
I'm in
Huh?
the wrong chat.
At least they haven't got down to the bearskin rug yet.
Okay, so basically the capsule was filled with scar tissue and he tore it all away. Okay. Good night, Cat.
Cat, you have a good one, girl. You got all your people out?
Good
Are
night,
you
Cat.
making popsicles out of them? Man, I used to have to work outside and all kind of weather. Damn, I'd hate to have to get out there tonight, 17 degrees, and work all night long.
Not for me.
Not for me anymore. Used to be. The kind of work I did, I might be someplace where 17 working on something. There's been many a time that we were pouring concrete on the fences and stuff, and I'd have to shut down because water would be freezing in the concrete. And then in the summertime, we'd be up in the top of the demo plant. It'd be 140, 150 degrees up there. You know, when you got up close to sea. I don't see how it kept them killing.
Lillian, I'm about the same as I have been the last 3 weeks. So
No, we haven't got any of that. All we've had down here is just wind so far.
You all right over? What's wrong? Oh.
I got a little story I need to tell one of these nights on my channel about one night we went kayak camping, fishing, and it's a pretty good story. But anyway, we had a tornado come through a half a mile from us. We were camping in tents, and we had 90-mile-an-hour wind. One old guy was inside a tent, and it pulled all the stakes up and was rolling his tent down the sandbar. Couldn't get out of it. They wound up taking a knife and cutting his way out of that tent. I didn't even know there was any real rough weather around. What part of Texas was it in, Diane? Do you remember?
yeah. Oh, maybe the Dallas Fort Worth area, because I got an AccuWeather thing about severe thunderstorms over in Fort Worth.
Well, I'm going to tell that story if I can get to my buddy that was on that thing with me. get on there and tell it too. He's funny the way he tells it. But it was pretty interesting. Had aluminum poles on one tent that were about that big around. They were 1 inch, and the wind was blowing so hard it pulled two of them poles into. I'm not talking about breaking them, but pull them into. Them guys, the other guys, one was from Mississippi and one was from Florida. And they come down here. And me and my buddies, after it was over with, I got up and put a pot of coffee on, and we were laughing and cutting up, going on. Blew our boat down the river. We had to go get them, and them guys thought we were crazy because we were laughing, cutting up, going on. And hell, I think we mixed a drink about 3 o'clock that morning. I was well laugh about it. Ain't no use in getting in a bad mood about it. They'll still get on the forum every once in a while, man. But don't go down there and paddle with them crazy idiots. They laugh at anything. Darn it, about that. Yeah, we got a little bit. It stormed about 60 miles from us now. We go around Gate. Well, I'm back in radar to come up on.
Rain for 10 days? That sounds terrible, Janice.
Rain for 10 days. That's terrible. What now? What'd you say, Amy?
Rain for 10 days.
Yeah, Janice made a comment that it rained for 10 straight days.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I imagine he did, but it rolled him about 50 or 60 yards. He was fixing to go off in the river.
Speaking of rain, it's raining right now here at my house. And like I said, looks like the forecast. I just looking on the weather app that I use, WCYP Channel 5 News weather app. Uh, looks like uh, looks like I'm rained out the whole week. Like I said, looks like my only day to work on that thing is gonna be Saturday.
Yeah, go ahead and drop it there, it does.
Renee, was that the camping trip where camping therapy where Doreen fell and broke her wrist?
Yeah, it's the same one. Yeah. I do believe that's the same. I do believe uh, that is the same one.
Hey, for all the people getting ready, rain is better than snow.
Yeah, true to that, but I still don't want rain because I can't work on anything. Oh.
No, you can't work on anything if you have snow.
I'm gonna see if I can get the radar to come up. I'll be right back.
Okay. We'd be walking in knee-deep mud for a week. That does not sound pleasant.
Hmm. Yeah, we were lucky. It slid right by us. It's going up from Waco. Looks like it's gonna go right below Fort Worth, Dallas.
Okay. So in the middle. All right.
Yeah. So but it's moving away from me now.
That's good.
Yeah. I don't like tornadoes.
Mm-mm. I got lucky growing up in Kansas City. Never saw, but like, and it was because of where I was at the time. Like, I can remember one time I was at work in Overland Park, and the tornado went right through, right to the city next to us, where I was in Blue Springs. Missed it. Like, was never was around me, so I've never seen a tornado. Got lucky.
Mm. Well, it looks like they're coming back a little bit, but it looks like they're gonna miss Dallas.
I do like a good thunderstorm, though. I do love watching a good thunderstorm. I haven't seen one good one for a long time.
Not a big fan of thunderstorms.
Oh, I love them. And now I've got my sliding glass door, and I have some open area where I would get a really good view if we have a good thunderstorm here.
I'd be wanting to try to find a place and hide somewhere.
See, that's the Midwest girl in me, as I love just sitting there and watching a thunderstorm. Oh, cool, Diane. Oh, not cool. I guess I said living in Fort Riley for 3 years. That's cool, but seeing two, not okay. Yeah. No, I've gotten lucky to where I haven't seen any.
I don't even like being in my own house when it thunders and lightens and all that stuff.
Yeah. I love it.
I'm like Amy. I like to watch the lightning.
Not me. Mm-mm.
Yeah, that would be terrifying. The ones in the middle of the night. Yep. I remember this one time I was at a meeting for work, and I was with my boss. So the person who brought me with Texas, he and I were at the same meeting, and we worked at the same store at the time, and we're getting texts from our employees that there's a tornado right down the road, and our boss is getting mad at us, and he's like, "You do realize there's a tornado headed to the restaurant that makes the most of your money?" And he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, take care of what you need to take care of."
I've been close to several of them. I was coming out of West Texas, and there was one come down through there. We could see it coming, and I ran up on a overpass. And I just pulled up as far as I could on the side of that bridge up underneath it, and that thing went over the top of us. Didn't we were down low enough; it didn't bother us. A lot of junk flying.
Janice, you make a very interesting point that you don't seem to get the storms we used to get anymore. Yeah, I've noticed that too. Like, I haven't seen a good thunderstorm in a really long time.
Well, here in probably from the 1st of April to the end of May is when you get your thunderstorms in Texas. That's when your best odds are. The way I feel about a thunderstorm or lightning storm or tornado, I'm not gonna take any chances, but if it's gonna get you, it's gonna get you. You worry about it.
Yeah.
Might as well enjoy it.
Roy says that he would love to be in a Category 5 hurricane sometime.
No, you don't, Roy.
Janice says her biggest thrill in recent times was the earthquake that we had a few months back. Woke me up out of a dead sleep. Never had a bed rattle that hard before. I remember that earthquake happening. Because I heard about it and I messaged Sean and Alana to make sure that they were okay.
Only earthquake I've ever been in, it was a little one. It was in Blythe, California. Staying at a hotel there. Woke up in the middle of the night, damn bed shaking.
I was in an earthquake in my cruise in January of 2020, and I didn't know it at the time that we were in an earthquake. And then I was on the cruise ship for the aftershock, and that was a very weird feeling. But yep, I was on a catamaran in an earthquake. I was walking around and I stumbled, and I thought I was just dumb for moving. Couldn't walk on a moving boat. It was the earthquake that made me not be able to walk on a moving boat.
I'm in Waco, just right outside of Waco, Diane. Just about the middle of the state. I'm about halfway between Dallas and Houston, and about halfway between Dallas and San Antonio.
Kenny, how's Tinder going?
I was not on Tinder. I'm actually looking for my passport because I gotta have it for tomorrow when I go and check on that pre-check card thing that I'm supposed to be getting. That's good for 5 years.
I have TSA pre-check and it's amazing. So you won't get an actual card for TSA pre-check. Like you'll get. I got an email that had my known traveler number.
Yeah.
And so when I book a flight, it's already in Southwest. Whenever I book a flight with Southwest, they already have my number. And then when I get my boarding pass, it will say TSA pre-check on it.
Okay, because I'm gonna do things differently this time because I don't want to go like what I did with my very first flight.
Yep. But TSA pre-check is wonderful. You don't have to take anything out of your bag. You don't have to take your shoes off. You just walk through the metal detector, and it's great. And the line is so much shorter.
You have a good one, Lillian.
Okay. So if you have a carry-on bag, they don't make you take everything out?
They'll still go. It still goes through the metal detector, or not the metal. It still goes through the X-ray machine. but you don't have to take out your like laptop or your tablet or the bag of liquids or any snacks. Like you just leave it in the back. Now, this last time I flew, they did which flight was it? Was it here in Amarillo? One of them, they took out my like they sent it through, and then they took out. It was in Orlando, and then they took out my tablet and my computer and ran it through again, and then something because they couldn't see something in the bag, so they wanted to look at it again. But they took it out and they ran it through, and then I just picked it up. But that was the first time that's happened. Normally, though, they will check my bag if I have my nebulizer in my carry-on because the nebulizer will trigger something. And so now I know, and so I'll typically will put it in my check bag, or if it's in there, like they'll start doing it, and I'll tell them, I go, it's probably my nebulizer, and they're like, yeah, and they open it up, they see it, and then they just close it back up and give it to me. But I've done that I know that's what's going to trigger it. So
I got a question, Amy.
Yep.
I got a friend of mine that is having hell right now, just with dust and pollen and that kind of stuff. And she was asking me, can you just go to a drugstore and buy a nebulizer? And I told her I didn't think so, that you had to have a prescription for it.
Yep, mine was a prescription. So I went to an urgent care because I knew I needed a breathing treatment. And he was the only one to not do the breathing treatment in the office. He's like, I'm not going to give you the breathing treatment here. I'm going to write you a prescription for a nebulizer in medicine. And it was so much cheaper for him to do that because instead of having to pay that, the machine and the medicine, I think is like $35, if that, like with my prescription. And so it was so much cheaper. And now, because I have that, I can do that breathing treatment whenever I need to.
You got a albuterol in it?
Yep.
My wife had one.
And in that thing, there was probably 100, if not more than 100 little capsules of the medicine.
Yeah. Order that stuff. There's a company up north that my wife got one. It would take 3 or 4 days, but it didn't cost pennies. I mean, it was cheap. Well, what about an inhaler? Can you get an inhaler?
It's prescription.
Still prescription.
Yep.
They got where they don't like give them inhalers out.
I've never, with my asthma, and like when I go to like an urgent care and they can listen to my breathing, they know. And mine are still good. They'll ask me, they're like, is your inhaler still good? And I'll be like, yeah, but I already have a prescription for an inhaler and they know that. And so they ask me if mine is still good so they can prescribe me a new one if I need it. But I've never had a problem since I've been put on inhalers. I've never had an issue getting an inhaler.
Hello, Down Under.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, down under cruisers. Good night, Roy and Becky. And enjoy your time there in Quartzsite. I wish I was there hanging with y'all.
I wish I was going gold panning with you, Roy. I'm just going to have to go out there one of your days and just meet Dan. Yeah.
You talking about A to Z, Dan?
Yeah.
I didn't even get to meet him when I was out there because he was sick at the time.
Yeah.
Well, I take it Meg must not have got no sleep. she must have couldn't sleep back because she's back again. Oh.
Tell you what, they do a lot of stuff out there that I like to do. I've always wanted to try panning for gold, never have done. And then there's some places on Idaho Montana border where they got mines and stuff up in there that they'll dig so much dirt out and they have rubies in it and jade and all kind of stuff. It's pretty neat. Well, I tell you what, I like to watch a storm. I don't want to be in it particularly. When I was overseas, I rode out a typhoon in that Indian Ocean. That was enough of that kind of stuff for me.
I'm doing okay. About the
Just
same, but okay.
she just as mean as ever.
Hey, I'm not mean.
Hey,
Although there probably are people out there who think I'm mean, but whatever.
you got to be a little bit mean to survive, Amy.
Yeah.
If I didn't pick on you, you'd think I was mad at you. I guess I always have picked on you ever since we sort of got to know each other.
Yup. Sean's always picked on me too.
Gotta have a good time. I don't know what got me started on this kick of doing this crap every night. Most people have trouble running one.
Thank you guys.
You think you could take lessons from you, Diane? There you go, Angie.
Sean goes, Amy, you are mean. I have to wait 234 days just to pick on you personally. Just saying.
I do enjoy coming in here every night.
I enjoy it too. I've kind of gotten used to you going live every night, just like I've gotten used to Roy and Becky going at noon every day. And then when they don't go at noon and I'm off, like I'm not at work yet, it just throws my day off. Like
Well,
today, they didn't go live today, and I'm like, it's noon. Why are Roy and Becky not live?
well, I need to get hold of George on Saturday night. If he's on, I don't want to be heads with him. But with him moving and everything, he may not be on. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I know Danny with Griswold Family Vacay, he goes on at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central every Saturday. For a couple hours, about 2 hours. So
Normally, I go on about between 11:15. That's the way it works out.
yeah.
But usually there's nobody on this time of the night.
Nope.
Nobody I know.
And that's what's so nice about you going live at this time is there's not really anybody else, and so it's become a consistent thing. And if you notice, you see the same people in here every night.
Yeah.
So it's like one big party every night with the same people.
I think that's one thing that people come back in here for because we cut up and gone. If he does that, well, I'll go ahead and come on.
7:30 Pacific time, so that would
10:30
be
Eastern.
10:30 Eastern, right? Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
There's 3 hour difference.
Well, I know that he's having to move and everything. I never did say I was coming on here for an hour, Janice. What are you talking about? I don't think I've ever come on here for an hour.
I know me and you at the longest live me and you did together. It was getting ready to head to 5 o'clock my time, so it'd be 4 o'clock yours.
Yeah.
And that was about a 4 or 5 hour live.
Well, now, Diane, I'm going to have to agree with you on that. I, all my life, I've been partial to boob food. I don't think that's ever going to change. What's wrong, Kenny?
Oh Lord.
We're going to get Kenny laughing again. Then.
Oh Lord.
We've been trying to get Kenny a job in a topless bar.
I don't know if he would like that.
Do what?
I don't think he would like that.
Why?
He just doesn't seem like he'd be the type of guy to be comfortable in that situation.
We didn't say anything about comfort. You know, there's a lot of, I got buddies of mine now, they'll go to topless bars. That just never has been my ball game. Only time I like to go to a topless bar, if you got some kid that's 17 or 18 years old that ain't never been around or ain't never done anything, and you take him, he'll turn 21 or something, you'll take him to one of the topless bars, and then get one of them gals and hand her about a $50 bill to aggravate the hell out of you. Now, that can get to be fun.
I have a fun story about being dragged into one of those places once. So, get dragged, bunch of employees, like, they basically dragged me. I didn't want to go. Been drinking and get to the place, and I have to use the restroom. And so did one of the other girls that was with us. So we go into the restroom, and there's like the sink, and there's one stall. So you open the door, there's one stall, the sink, and everything. So the girl that I'm with, she goes in, uses it. Well, I'm standing in there, and one of the girls comes in, and they have some clothes on, and because of where it was, because they can't be totally, they have to have some clothes on. So then one of our other friends comes in right after her. So then I go out. I come back out. We're still waiting on our third friend, so she's in line, and the girl leaves the stall door wide open. And all of a sudden she shouts, "Man, I hate it when that happens." And the three of us look at each other. She goes, "I hate it when they put money in my underwear. I don't know that it's there." She comes out. She doesn't have her clothes on. And I'm like, okay, what do I do here? Like, I'm uncomfortable. My friend goes into the stall, and the money is still in the toilet. We washed your hands and we got the heck out of there. I'm like, I can't be here anymore. The person who ordered a drink, get your drink gone. We gotta go.
Janice, you'd be surprised how many guys that are 17 or 18 years old haven't done anything, or haven't seen any of that kind of stuff.
But yeah, my one and only experience in a place like that, and I'm like, never again. This is not for me.
Hey, I know some people are just crazy.
Troy says they used to drop loose changing the strippers talking. They would start dancing, shaking that one leg to get the coins working down to their foot.
It's a good thing there wasn't another paragraph. I don't think any had made it.
He lit it up. He's as red as his chair right now.
What happens when they're shaking both legs, Kenny?
Oh Lord! Oh Lord!
I like a castanet, wouldn't it? What is what?
Mm.
So, what do we talk about now?
Well, you got around to the boobs and the strip joints. What do we need to talk about, Amy?
I don't know.
Oh, come on now. Oh, Lord. We done melted all your ice, Diane? Well, I tell you what now, Amy, you got to admit that the women are as bad as the men if they're in the right place. Now, maybe not in the strip joint, but I've got a friend of mine that owns a big club up in Dallas, or he used to. And he called me one night. I'd bounced for him a few times. And he called me and said, "Hey, can you come up here this weekend? I need some help." I said, "What the hell's going on? You got plenty bouncing." "No, I need somebody that got a little sense." "Well, okay." And he paid me damn good for coming up there. When I got up there, it was a Chippendale was going to be there that weekend. And when the Chippendales come in that club, no
Oh,
men were allowed at all. Well, what was funny about it, Dave's office was upstairs and it had a one-way glass in the front of it. You could sit in the office and see everything in the club, but you couldn't see up in there. And I have never laughed that damn much in my life. Them gals were coming wow, boy.
Oh, I bet.
And and just as soon as they walked out the front door, though, it was like prison as could be. Now, God Almighty.
I remember, was it my junior year in college? I was in a sorority and we had like the recruitment and we were staying in a group of us were staying in the hotel because we took the girls to all the different ones. And so they didn't know which one we were in. And the weekend, the weekend that we were staying there, I think it was like Chippendales or something similar. They were staying in the same hotel that we were on the same exact floor that we were on. That was interesting.
Yeah, I would imagine.
You have like 30 sorority girls and then Chippendales all on the same floor.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah.
How'd what go again, Janet? I got my education. Whoop, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Brene, I've heard that pole dancing is very good exercise. Like there's actual like not gyms, but there's like places that you go that you like for exercise that's just pole dancing classes. Like I've heard it's very good exercise.
A lot of things is good exercise.
It's true. Yeah.
I got no. I sort of got broke in. I was dating a girl at Baylor, and she was in a dorm there, and there were 17 or 18 girls that were in that dorm together. Well, I wasn't serious about any of them, but if they went out and wanted to go to a dance or someplace they like to have a guy with, and if I wasn't doing anything, they'd call me and I'd go with them. And I've been introduced as fiance and husband and everything else. Some guy get to giving one of them all the time. But I ran around with them gals so damn much they forget I was around. And they took my blinders off, blinkers off, or whatever the hell you want to call them, about how I thought butter would melt a woman's mouth up to that point when I got an education.
Well, I'm probably going to drop down so I can try to get some kind of sleep because keep yawning. So
Yeah, I'm gonna stay on about 10 more minutes and I'm gonna drop it. We've been just about that 2.5 hours. Seems like that's about what we wind up doing.
all right. Well, I'll see everyone later, and thanks for letting me up here. And it was a fun night with lots of random different topics of conversation.
Amy, I appreciate you coming up
Yep.
here.
All right. I'll still be in chat, but I'll talk to you later.
All right. Oh, Lord, Lord. I still don't understand what you're asking.
Gotta teach the boys somehow, Ron, Janice says.
I guess. Any working at the top of his bar, he'd be walking around doing this all night long.
I would probably oh Lord.
I'll tell you what I can do, Kenny. I get to come to your meetup out there. Well, I'll check around and see if we got any topless bars out there. We'll go to one while I'm out there.
But oh Lord.
I give you a whole new outlook on life.
Well,
I wouldn't corrupt him now. I wouldn't get into anything I'm not supposed to. I guess I just see Kenny trying to get on that airplane with that damn pole under.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looking at bringing a coffee pot and some folders for reading at the meetup. Need new coffee maker. LOL.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, that Kenny will be putting that on his wheelchair. That pole will travel. That might be interesting that you meet up.
What's
Start,
that?
start you a little competition on that pole dancing. That might be interesting.
No, I doubt that.
You don't think they do that?
I don't know. I don't even really know what I've never seen pole dancing, so I don't even know really what you're talking about.
Uh,
I've never seen it, so I don't know.
you ain't never seen what?
Pole dance?
Oh, pole dancing.
Yeah, what is that?
Well, and in them strip joints, they got a pole right up on the stage, and them gals use that as sort of a prop to dance with.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, be pick, take him and show him one. I'm not worth a damn on that pole.
You,
Now you'd have to admit, Barry does, he would never be the same. Hell, that's what's wrong with me, Kenny.
what's that?
I got around them topless deals too much.
Oh, yeah.
You plumb ruined me.
I can I understand that, Ron.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. I don't think there's many people in that magic circle, Diane, that do a pole dance justice. I don't think.
I do follow a channel
Who?
uh that that does vlogging from the Magic Circle called the Wonder Hussy.
Mm-mm-mm. I'm not going to touch that one, Diane.
Let's see. Uh do not tell me. Okay. But Danny Wayne and I already did that months ago. At the same time, he has trauma.
Now,
uh,
wait a minute, Amy, you holding out on us? You're telling me that you're topless dancing with a pole, and you ain't let us know? Dang, girl. Tell you what, these women are a mess, man. They keep. Mm-mm-mm.
Have I been listening to those children's stories? No, I haven't. I I, I haven't had a chance to watch that yet. Diane says she's seen so many men nude, it doesn't faze her.
Got to be professional, huh, Diane? All right, folks. We've been on here 2.5 hours. I guess it's about time we shut her down. You gonna do your
No,
thing?
actually, I'm gonna probably go and watch some videos and catch up on some videos. But I'll see y'all around the YouTube streets. Good night, everybody.
Good night. I appreciate all y'all coming in. I hope
Thanks for
y'all have
having me up, Ron.
always, Kenny. You're my man.
Look
Guess,
forward to getting to meet you in person one day, bud.
oh yeah, we're gonna do that.